Good morning, everybody. It's Melodious Monday, the 11th of May, and this is actually number 39 of the live videos. Now, I said that I wasn't going to sing, and I'm not going to sing, but I thought I would start with something that soothes me. Now, whether this will work or not, I hope it does, but bear with me. I hope you enjoyed that wee start to the day. Now, it's classical music. I absolutely adore music. That was Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, and I kind of turned to that to help me soothe. Um, it's quite emotional for me because I think I like sharing things because I think that helps others. And what I think is that when I'm going to share this with you, it's not for arrogance or anything because it was close to my heart. But I really thought many years ago I was going to change the world by being a concert pianist. And as you can see, I am not. For whatever reason, I think I'll need to write my own book on that. But it was I had a beautiful grand piano, and I was lucky enough to have that. And I was actually playing from about my adoptive parents were musical, so I played from the age of 4, and I was playing in concerts until I was about 10 or 11. And then, anyway, whatever happened, I ended up not following that route and changing to another course at university. So that's for another day. But my grand piano, again, through various challenges in life, that had to be sold. And the piano I'm playing on just now was a gift. It's on loan to me because I was at the Royal Conservatoire when I was playing all these years ago. This lady gave me her piano on the proviso that when she dies and then I die, it's got to go to the Royal Conservatoire to one of the pupils there. So it's a magnificent piano. It's an upright, but it's absolutely fabulous. So I didn't have a piano for many years, and I really stopped playing. I don't really play to the public. So that was a wee inshot into my life. So I hope you enjoyed that. I was on to sort of lighter matters, actually. I was thinking, I try to make all my tips and tools and every technique simple and easy. And I was thinking now, if I said to you that I'm going to give you my ABC tips today, but you're all going to get a 50-page document that you've got to read, I think your hearts would just sink. So to me, I was listening to the news. As I say, don't watch negative news all the time, but always try and catch up either morning or night. It happened to be this morning. And I know there's lots of people confused over Boris Johnson's message. Now, some think there's no confusion. Now, I believe that there's even one person is confused. Surely your message isn't clear. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of politics. What I wanted to do was, this melodious means like dulcet, like sweet, like soothed. So I thought I would continue this theme tomorrow and call it Soothing Tuesday. And we'll try and, there's a bit, not particular, I don't know if you hear outside, but there's bottle bins being emptied by the environmental health people. Anyway, that's not particularly soothing, but maybe people have turned to drink to soothe themselves, as we know. Anyway, you probably noticed posts also for Mother's Day, and I found some information on how that started. And it was Anne Jarvis. She campaigned for Mother's Day, having got the idea from her mother, which was Anne Reeves Jarvis, who actually started the day. I know it's got religious connotations, but she started the day as she wanted mothers' work to be recognised. So of course now it's very commercialised, but nonetheless, thank you to all mothers out there. And this has been like a weekend of celebrations. We've had the VE Day on Friday, and even that was confusing because I was speaking to my grandchildren. They said, oh yes, Friday was our Monday holiday. Anyway, we still need to thank all the fathers, the sisters, the aunts and everybody. There's days for them as well. So it kind of become a wee bit commercialised. But we just need to thank everybody and just say, I love you to all these people that care for us. So today I was thinking we really need to consider how to take care of ourselves. Now, the people who need most care are those who need to learn self-care. And I've met many people over the years and have connected with most who were empathetic and caring. And these are wonderful traits. But the downside for these people who are caring and empathetic is you leave yourself open to lots of different feelings and emotions. And it kind of, you leave yourself open to the negative emotions and feelings of the other people that you're caring for. So you need to remember to take care of yourselves. When you're empathetic and caring, you experience positive feelings. It makes you feel good. These feelings are of love and joy, and that improves your overall well-being. But as I say, the downside can be the people who you're caring for, not all of them, but some of them will suck that energy out of you, and you are left sort of drained, and you're thinking, well, what do I do now? So I found that years ago, I'm a bit better at it now, but I tended to want to fix people. And of course, the old saying, you can take a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink, is so true. So the people who are empathetic and caring need to understand that. And I think it's just, you need to understand it's not possible to change people, others. It's not possible to fix them. You can only fix and change yourself. So I would love to help and change everyone. And it's why I try and promote these sort of simple techniques, the ABC. So I need to keep reminding myself of this as well, because when I offer my tips for improving mental well-being, I have to be on the lookout for negative phrases. And this happens quite often. I don't know if it's happened to you, but you have a friend or a relative or maybe a client or in the workplace a colleague, and the phrases that are common are, oh, I don't know what to do. No, I can't make things work. I don't like my job. I don't like where I'm living. Things would be better if I could move to. And of course, kind of stock phrase sometimes for me is to say, look, particularly in the moving, no matter where you move, what country, what city, what town, you're taking yourself there. So unless you're helping yourself, it becomes very, very difficult to enjoy that new place. So instead of, I think when they come up with negative phrases, it's often quite difficult to help them because they're sucking energy out of you. So an exercise I kind of want you to do is take a moment to think about a time when you have said something positive. Now that can be at home and at work. A lot of today might be maybe more concerned with people who are at work. But take a moment to think of the reaction of others when you have suggested something positive, maybe a good idea that would work and it sounds like a good plan. Now, was it met with these kind of phrases? Oh, that's a good idea. Sounds like a good plan. Or is there always one person who says, oh, that'll never work? These things have never worked for us. And of course, the sad thing is they criticise everything, but it actually impacts on everyone because, again, another old phrase, one bad apple. So just one person can bring the whole team, the whole family, everybody down, and you're left kind of deflated. So It's very, very difficult. And of course, even in these times when we're getting social messages on social media and things, everybody's criticising, everybody's disparaging about what's happening. And I think it's difficult because even people working remotely, they're still finding this. So what do we need to do? Well, if you're faced with someone who's, oh, that'll never work and all these negative phrases, the first thing you need to do is find out the facts for yourself. Don't be caught out by responding to social media posts. I have been caught out and then I've pulled myself back, and I always try and put something positive in, not negative. So don't fall into the trap of agreeing with everything that's posted or dismissing everything that's posted on social media or that is reported. So you need to kind of find out the facts for yourself. And of course that can be difficult. Are we back to reading this 50-page document, or are they going to send the 50-page document to all of us around the country? A bit of a waste of money, or, South American forests being destroyed through that paper, use of paper. Workplace meetings, of course, will be held remotely, but that does not mean you have to accept negativity. If someone is negative about any idea that you're trying to make things positive, turn things around to them, it's quite good if you say, oh, what evidence led you to that decision or that opinion? And you might find that they actually don't have any evidence. They might even say they don't have any facts. It's just their negative opinion. So what they invariably do, what they're doing is they're interpreting the facts or what they have read into their opinion, whether it's right or wrong. So when we read something, our brain interprets what we're reading by using all our past experiences, all our personal experiences and knowledge to find meaning to that. So instead of looking at facts clearly, they interpret them in the way that fits into how they perceive the situation. And of course, that actually goes back a bit to your past conditioning. So when you're dealing with people who put forward their negative statements and opinions, what you need to do is bring them back into talking about and dealing with the facts. It's helpful in the workplace if you do this, or if you're on remote teams, because when you do this, when they realise that actually they don't have the facts to support their view, you're bringing every other team member or your family on board. And it means that it's important that you're showing the negativity is powerful, and that negativity is powerful and contagious, and therefore you need to kind of get rid of that, and people will start sort of questioning it all. At the end of the day, of course, you can't change the negative person, but you will be able to show the rest of the family or the team that there are no facts for accepting blanket negativity. So do you also find when someone puts forward sort of negative views or opinions that they're not challenged? Everybody's maybe kind of frightened, and they're hoping that someone will maybe challenge it. That used to be sort of me, But it's of course not, it's important not to handle negativity with negativity. Never be confrontational. Just politely ask for evidence to support their view and opinion. What more could you do? So some tips here for you. Never be afraid, this is quite an important one, never be afraid to cut people out of your life who are impacting on your well-being. Now, easier said than done, particularly if that person is a member of the family or someone you're living with. But don't get sucked into their negative energy. The tip here is, and it's a difficult one to do, but don't respond to them. And of course, don't respond to them, particularly if they've maybe had a drink or maybe just they're not in the right mood. Because people like that just love getting your attention. In fact, they feed on it. Now, you may have experienced this when you were with or live with someone or work with negative people, and no matter what you say, they come up with a problem for every solution. They have every reason why it won't work. So, just like you, though, they have choices. Some choices in life will be difficult, and one that comes to mind in this crisis are the plight of those suffering from domestic violence. I mean, where are they? There's maybe nowhere for them to go just now. So they're suffering. And I think I saw posts on social media, I think this is quite good actually, that Boots are opening, there's a safe place for them to go. Someone else posted up that if you're suffering in that way, you can lift the phone and ask a friend, but just say to them, oh, you're still doing that makeup business you've got, can I have some more liner? And they'll know that there's a problem here, and they will ask for where could they deliver that liner, the address to. So that kind of helps. These sort of phrases not to alert the other person. When you find it too difficult to not respond, then it's important to keep yourself calm. You need to take care of yourself, and of course that reduces stress and reduces anxiety. A difficult thing to do, but you need to kind of zip the mouth, don't respond, and do a deep breathing, take a deep breath in. Because when you're empathetic and you care for others, you may not have learned to self-soothe or take care of yourself. Now this happens, and I mentioned like past conditioning, I've talked about that before in previous sort of videos. If you've been brought up with anxious parents, with anxious carers, they transfer that anxiety to you, and that can carry you into adulthood, and you kind of become anxious about everything, particularly sensitive children. When we're sensitive, we soak up the anxious atmosphere, anxious energy, everything all round about us. Even unknowingly, you can carry this into your adult life. Now, don't worry if this has happened to you. You can and you need to learn to take care of yourself and self-soothe. By doing this, you will be less stressed, you will be less anxious, and you will not become overwhelmed by stress, whether yours or from those round about you. So the tips, and of course my broken record again, and there's no 50-page document, you don't need to worry. The tips are actually simple. It's the ABC. Now, they may be simple, but they are proven psychological techniques for improving mental well-being, which in turn improves your overall well-being. But to be effective, they must be practiced regularly so that they become a good habit. Now I'm hoping, since we're at number 39, I know I don't do the videos on a Saturday and Sunday, but we're at number 39. So I'm hoping that by every day you've managed to do at least a short ABC, morning and night. So this is now becoming a good habit. So if anything's getting to you, you go, breathe, the affirmation, just imagine, and I'm going to be doing the letting go exercise later as to how to get rid of that negative thought, that negative person, that negative situation. So affirmations, so we'll just go through them. A, remember, is about the self-talk. So you can help yourself with affirmations, and remember the 3 P's. That's personal, positive, and present or past tense. That's self-talk. I am positive. I do not let negative people impact on my life. The tendency is to say, I will not do this, I will do this, or, but in the future, that's just wrong. Everything's got to be now. You've got to feel as if it's in the now. So ditch the words can't, don't, won't. If you feel yourself becoming overwhelmed, actually, whether you're faking it or not, you can say, I am calm. I am not overwhelmed. I am balanced in body and mind. And that really helps. Sometimes when we say, I'm not letting negative emotions overwhelm me, this is good. But it can also be good, remember, to let the negative emotions flow. You can't be positive all the time. As I've said before, this is kind of all round the time I lost my son and we were preparing for the celebration of his life. And I was keeping it together, but in my moments alone, I was sobbing uncontrollably. We need to let the negative emotions flow, and that is not weak. It's not being weak at all. In fact, it's strong to do that. And it's you're by doing this, you're just being kind to yourself. Show yourself compassion when you are stressed or anxious or emotionally upset. And by crying and going to a safe place, not necessarily, preferably not in front of anybody, but go somewhere where you can let these tears flow, and it's a real feel-good factor. You can offer guidance to other. I like to call myself a mentor, and rather than a coach, because I find mentoring, it's helping the person to understand themselves and make their own decisions. So B is the deep breathing, and remember, it's got to be, now my shoulders aren't moving at all because I'm breathing from the lower diaphragm and the tummy, and the deep breathing allows energy to enter into your body, so you're not only relaxed but you're energized. Bit confusing there, but it actually works. So you're not going to sort of go to sleep, you're actually energizing yourself but relaxing yourself at the same time. So you take a deep breath. And of course, when you do the affirmations and you're breathing, the next one is your C. So what's the C? The C is using your creative imagination. And you use your creative imagination to take yourself from negative to positive. And you can do that within seconds. When you change a negative thoughts and feelings into positive, it improves your overall mental well-being. So I thought that we would do, I wasn't sure what meditation, but I asked people to tell me what they wanted. And the first person to say was the letting go. Now, I know we've had self-care live video last week. That was the 6th of May. And I think it's important to keep on that theme. But we're going to do the letting go exercise. Now, I did the one letting go of emotional pain, but this is the one, I'm not sure of the people watching, but I did one with colours, but I think there's the shorter one that might help, because no matter what colour your problem, your negative feelings or thoughts are, what it relates to, this colour I'm going to give you will help you just feel less stressed and calm. So if we take a deep breath in, well, we've got to sit comfortably again with our feet grounded, our feet on the floor. Now, it's a beautiful day here. It's blue sky. There's not a cloud in the sky, but it's a bit colder. So I don't know what it is around the country, but I think the weather was supposed to get a wee bit colder. So maybe going outside to do this is not, or wrap up well if you want to do it. But it's lovely to be in nature to do these meditations. It's so good to be outside, but keep yourself warm. So we're inside just now. I've got my feet on the ground, and I'm going to just posture straight, feel good, and relax into this. So we want to take a deep breath in through the nose, and then exhale through the mouth. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and hold, and then exhale. Now I want you to think of an issue, a challenge, a problem that you're having just now with someone else, with yourself, with a situation. It's got to be something really that's out with your control. If something is within your control, you have a choice to do something about it. But when you worry about things outside of your control, you're creating stress for yourself. So I want you to put this problem, this issue, this challenge, whether it's a person or a situation, this time I want you to take a yellow ribbon. Yellow is the colour of intuition. And I want you to wrap this problem so tightly around this issue that it's contained. Now I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale. Now the problem's still tightly wrapped in this yellow ribbon. I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, I want you to release the ribbon and let it float away. I want you to see it floating away. It's high in the sky. The issue, the challenge, no matter what it is gone. You have released it. And because the ribbon was yellow and it's the colour of intuition, you know intuitively that it was the right thing to do to let it go. I let it go. And then you can say to yourself, I am calm, I am positive, I am relaxed. Now in your own time you can open your eyes and then stretch again and relax and just feel good, because that issue is gone now. You've no control over it anyway. Why worry over something you can't do anything about? Worrying about these sort of things is just taking away your peace. So I hope that has helped you. If there's any other topics, in fact, I think people have asked, going back to sort of at the start when I said I thought I was going to be a concert pianist, and I was a bit devastated when that wasn't going to happen. And people will say, do you have any regrets? Maybe you're asked by people, do you have any regrets in life? And I look back and I would like to, maybe fleetingly I think, oh, and then I pull myself up, because if I think about these challenges I had, from the greatest challenges came my greatest strengths. And of course, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today because I'm just where I'm meant to be. So I don't think there's any point in having regrets. So we should let go of the past. It doesn't mean you forget the past, but it means that you can react to it in a different way. And I will can touch more on that topic, but I want this week to kind of be soothing, self-care. I think we still need it, particularly when there's maybe still not so much clarity around. We need to keep ourselves well and keep ourselves safe. So today also is dedicated to Florence Nightingale. I think it's tomorrow. Well, tomorrow will be that, because it's going to be the 200th anniversary of the Lady of the Lamp. So I'll kind of weave that into tomorrow's. And thank you again for watching and listening. It's been wonderful and uplifting for me. And have a fabulous day and positive affirmations. I feel great. It's sunny outside. And you all have helped make this day really good for me. So stay well and stay safe. Virtual hugs and kisses to everybody. Thank you.